on in the Top Fuel quarterfinals as Bob Noyce takes on Kelly Brown. Noyce, a veteran out of Van Nuys, California. Brown, defending champion from Calabasas, California. Both moving into the staging area. The starter, Buster Couch, ready to launch them down this quarter-mile run. Noyce in the near lane. Good start. Good race. Top in, Bob Noyce. Bob Noyce has defeated the defending champion, Kelly Brown. And Noyce is driving the car that Brown won the championship in a year ago.
The reigning world champion, Kelly Brown, driving a new mount this year rather than the Brissett and Drake car that took him to the runner-up spot last year. Driving the Hill Gang car. Kelly last year finished it, but he carries the big number 1, signifying he is the world champion. Below qualifier, Shirley Muldowney. Shirley made it through the first very well with a 6:24 elapsed time, but she still has some concerns about the track as well. She should, and look at Brown drop car. To about a 1-car length lead over Shirley Muldowney at the finish line. Kelly Brown, as we see in the instant replay, drives this car as it begins to go out of control at this point, losing traction. Both cars smoking the tires violently, but Kelly Brown regains control, keeps it in the center of his lane as he heads for the finish line and defeats Shirley Muldowney, the low qualifier. Steve, obviously that left-hand lane creating problems for whoever happens to be there. And this time it is the reigning world champion, Kelly Brown. He is racing Rob Bruins. Bruins has recorded with Gaines Markley's car the lowest elapsed time of eliminations in the first round at 5.93 seconds. Kelly Brown never to be counted out, driving for the team of Diaz and Schultz, the over-the-hill gang, switching cars for this 79 season. And Bruins breaks something off the starting line. Kelly Brown, in another masterful driving job, keeps it between the guardrail and the center line to take the win. Let's watch again. You see instant smoke coming off the car. The tires of Kelly Brown. Rob Bruins already coming to a stop as he leaves the starting line and something breaks.
Bruins lost something up on the starting line. I don't know what to say. We just smoked the tires again. He wasn't there. So we'll fix her up and, you know, get in this last deal. I know Robbie and I are very close friends, and we have a little contest going because we're the only 2 guys that have ever been in the final round 4 times in a row of Top Fuel, and we fixed him this time. You know?
Now I can give you some good news. Your elapsed time is quicker than Bill Pryor, so you'll have lane choice. Do you think that's important at this point?
I assume that it is because we really smoked the tires that time. I drove about 3 miles on that run, so it. I don't know what we have to do, but we'll make our decision when we get up there. We'll watch funny cars very closely.
World champion Kelly Brown on his way to his 2nd consecutive final round berth at this race.
Well, I hope so.
Gordy Bonin, some $11,000 richer after winning the Gator Nationals funny car title. Here's the final for Top Fuel, the world champion Kelly Brown in the near lane. And this also anybody's race. Both drivers concerned about track conditions, trying to back out some of the horsepower as Bill Pryor got it hitting on all 8 of those brand new pistons coming to the starting line for the Top Fuel final. Leaving the line together, but it is Kelly Brown by a wide margin at the finish line. A fine time under the conditions, 6.26 seconds. His speed, 244 miles an hour. As we watch the instant replay, both cars smoke the tires. Kelly Brown backpedals, gets the traction back, and then stands on it for a 244 mile an hour charge.
Kelly Brown and Bill Pryor give each other a hug. Kelly Brown the winner. Lane choice was very important, I think, Kelly.
Lane choice was very good, but as I said before, my man Bill Schultz made the right decisions with clutch and tire and smoked him, but we're here, and we made up for final round loss last year.
You know, no one has ever been able to say, I am the 2-time NHRA Top Fuel World Champion, at least not 2 in a row.
Well, the season's quite a long one, and it's only the 2nd race. We feel very good about it, and we'll give it everything we have this year, I'll tell you.
It should give you the points lead, wouldn't it?
I really don't know. I haven't had a time today to even think about it. You know, when it's all over with, is the only one that wins, so that's what I'll think about.
You can ride home in a brand new Suzuki. That goes along with the Top Fuel Championship. You guys are going to have a fight over that.
I'm very happy about that. You believe me? I need a new motorcycle.
Okay, Kelly Brown, world champion.
We're asking the drivers how they hold up under this mental and mechanical pressure, Kelly Brown.
Well, that's a tough one. You know, I think the advantage that some of us have, maybe we can get ourselves back up for a race after waiting 2 or 3 days. And myself, I think I can make that happen. I'm not real concerned with it. I'm ready.
It's kind of a cold track now.
Track is probably a little bit cold. It doesn't have a lot of rubber on it, but it was washed off a little bit from our rains the other day, and it may be a little cleaner. I'm not too concerned with it. I have excellent guys with Bill Schultz working on this clutch and engine, and he's very track savvy, and he'll have this car ready to go, I'll guarantee you.
And Jerry Ruth of Seattle, Washington, racing the defending champion, Kelly Brown. Kelly winning the first round race at only 228 miles an hour. By the time of the semifinals, darkness had enveloped state capital Dragway and Kelly Brown, the defending champion. But here in 1979, the team of Jim Thomas, Sonny Diaz, and Bill Schultz, the over-the-hill gang with the world champion Kelly Brown at the wheel against Jake Coughlin in the semifinal round of racing at the Cajun Nationals. In the darkness, you can see the header flames coming out of the 2,000 horsepower nitromethane burning engines. As they leave the start, a big wheel stand for Jake Coughlin. Kelly Brown continues on. He shuts it off early as he goes through the trap at 6.07 seconds, only 219 miles an hour. Here in instant replay, you watch as they leave the starting line together. Side by side, it's Jake Coughlin and Kelly Brown. Coughlin in the far lane, immediately going into a power wheel stand. The traction very, very strong, and Coughlin, the wheels high in the air. So it's Kelly Brown in the Cajun Nationals finals for the second year in a row. Let's join Steve and Kelly at the finish line.
Kelly Brown, Dave, showing amazing consistency. 2 607s.
Well, again, I have to attribute that to Bill Schultz and the over-the-hill gang for dialing the car in like a Swiss watch. You know,
That looked like an easier 607, though. The speed was off.
The speed was off a little bit because I usually shut it off early. You know, there's no sense in running any farther than you really have to.
Did you see Jag?
I saw his wheels briefly, and that was about it. He looked like he made a good move also off the starting line, so it may have been a very close race had he not done that.
Kelly Brown, you could be a two-time champion here. You won it last year.
Well, let's hope we're a two-time champion at lots of these national events, you know, I hope.
I know you're interested in this next race. It's Shirley Muldowney, the gal you're chasing in the points, so let's watch it.
The girl that I'm chasing in the points, but yeah, I will watch it.
Okay, Kelly Brown. Dave, I've got the king and the queen of Top Fuel drag racing just moments before a storybook final round here at the Cajun Nationals. 77 world champ Shirley Muldowney. You don't usually talk to the guys you race before the race, do you?
Just say good luck and safe race. That's about it.
What do you figure he's doing to his car here behind us?
It doesn't look like they had any maintenance to do, just, you know, general maintenance, the same as we had to check bearings. That was it.
Kelly Brown, what's going on?
Well, we're obviously trying to make a winner out of it. We're doing everything we know how to do. Shirley is running in the fives, and we're running very consistently, but we're about a tenth back. So we didn't have to do much maintenance, just overhaul, check everything, and we're trying to find that tenth that she has and maybe put another half a tenth on top of that. I'm not saying too much. Are you crazy?
Best of luck to both of you, and it looks like just a great final round here.
Thank you, Steve. Good luck, Kelly.
Thank you. Good luck, Dave.
Dave McClellan, two very classy people and a real credit to the sport of drag racing. Shirley Muldowney, Kelly Brown. They're going to go at it.
The last two world Top Fuel champions meeting in the finals of the Cajun Nationals. Kelly Brown, driving for the over-the-hill gang, switched rides at the end of last season, was soundly criticized by a number of his fellow competitors for that move out of the Brissett and Drake car. But he's parlayed it into a win thus far with the over-the-hill gang winning the Gator Nationals. Shirley Muldowney has not won a race since August of 1977. She'd give anything to win this race, and it's going to be tough. Both cars capable of running in the 5-second bracket. They leave with Kelly Brown in a good hole shot. And let's see what happens at the finish line. It is Kelly Brown, the defending champion, repeating his Top Fuel Eliminator. Low elapsed time of the meet at 5.92 seconds. His speed, 241 miles an hour. This on a racetrack that before this event had never, ever yielded a 5-second elapsed time. The losing time for Shirley Muldowney, a 5:96 at 2:43. Kelly Brown getting out of his car. With him is Steve Evans.
Kelly Brown bailing out of the over-the-hill gang car, Dave. Talk about a happy guy. He's got the hot hand just like he did last year. He won the Gator Nationals, as you know, the last stop on this Winston NHRA trail. Now the Cajun Nationals. Son, whatever you did to this car, you said you needed a 10th, you got it. A track record 5:92.
Well, as I told you before, the Overhill gang, Bill Schultz, had it like a Swiss watch all day. We made the necessary things that we needed to do to the car. They worked. The car felt fantastic. This is, you know, it doesn't mean much to spectators, but it's the 15th consecutive run without the heads off it, and it's the greatest thing in the world, and I'm extremely pleased.
You nailed her on the Christmas tree.
Well, I had to do it. She had a 10th on me, and Bill told me he'll give me a 10th, but I have to give him a half a 10th, so that's exactly what happened.
Your job is to drive.
Well, my job is to drive, and Bill's job and the Overhill gang's job is to do this and to prepare this car the way they have. They've done the best job and that anyone could do, and I'm extremely pleased.
Here's the upset of the weekend. The unsinkable Kelly Brown, right here, sunk at the start as he red-lighted. And Walt Barman's in Sugar Land, Texas, took the win. How could a guy with all the experience, he's won 2 Nationals in a row, going to this event lose like this, Carl?
Ken, any good driver will tell you if you don't red light once in a while, you just aren't trying hard enough.
Well, he came off the line just that much too quickly, a millisecond, and loses it all. Here's the loser.
Kelly, you were a low qualifier and looked like a strong contender. Tell us what happened up there.
Well, I just, it took a lot of time staging, and I was trying to get out there, and I just made a mistake somehow, you know. I don't have any answer for it, except the guys had the car prepared perfectly, and it was all my problem on my shoulders, and I'll just have to make it up again. Very bad move.
One of the nice people in the motorsports world, Kelly Brown, getting some help from another neat guy, the guy that beat him, Sugar Land, Texas, Walt Barman.
At the starting line, Bruce Hagstead, now driving for Larry Frazier out of Denver, Colorado, getting set to go against the defending Top Fuel world champion, Kelly Brown from Calabasas, California. Brown himself changing rides over his world champion ride of a year ago. Now wheeling the over-the-hill gang car, and Brown is late. Hagstead is right on time with a big advantage off the starting line. And it's Bruce Hagstead, an even bigger margin of victory at the finish, 5.93 seconds. His speed, 238 miles an hour. But listen to this, the losing time for Kelly Brown, 5.99 seconds. He ran 245 miles an hour trying to catch Bruce Hagstead. As we look at it again, you can see the hole shot. That's the starting line advantage, definitely going to Bruce Hagstead. Let's join Steve Evans with Kelly Brown.
You fouled at the Spring Nationals, the last event. Did that have anything to do with maybe you were a little more conservative?
Probably back in your mind somewhere that could be a contribution to that, but I don't think so. I practiced on the lights out here in qualifying and was right on, so I don't know what happened there, but it's something that's unfortunate, and I feel bad about it, but we have to go on, you know.
This is the reigning world champion, Kelly Brown. He makes his home in Calabasas, California. The over-the-hill gang. Kelly Brown, the driver. This is the car that the world champion moved into at the start of this season. And he's trying to repeat, to be the only person ever to repeat as a Top Fuel world champion. They've had their work cut out for them, as in the first round of eliminations yesterday, they exploded a motor all over the racetrack. They worked all night to prepare it for the second round. They won that race, and now they're matched against the low qualifier. Richard Tharp, driving for Candies and Hughes, ran 5.81 seconds in qualifying, the quickest time thus far of this event. A good start by both cars. Kelly Brown moving ahead, and he wins the race by just a few feet. It's Kelly Brown advancing another round and gaining points now on Rob Bruins. Remember, Bruins went out this round, but Kelly Brown by taking this round win, advances further in the World Championship points chase. He won this race right in the middle of the course. He pulled ahead of Richard Tharp at that point, ran 5.90 seconds, 236 miles an hour. After 245 miles an hour, the pressure showing on Tharp. Here's Steve.
Kelly Brown, a tremendous 590. And Kelly, on paper, Tharp was the toughest driver you had to face.
They're all pretty tough. This is a 20
time-wise.
Well, that's correct, yeah. We didn't think about that so much. All we're thinking about is keeping this old bullet alive, and it's working real well to this point. This race is just incredible to everybody. You can feel the energy everywhere, you know, and everybody, win, lose, whatever, it seems that they're just so happy to be here, you know, and I want more than nothing in the world to be the last one here, you know what I mean?
Kelly Brown.
It will be one of these two men. This is the world champion, Kelly Brown, at the wheel of the Over the Hill gang against Larry Dixon, driving the car owned by Larry Minor. We told you earlier Dixon had lots of problems qualifying in this show. Brown did not have those difficulties except for an exploded engine in the first round of competition yesterday. It's a smoking tire start for Larry Dixon and a quick run for Kelly Brown. 5.85 seconds, 234 miles an hour. In slow motion, you watch the tires going up in smoke for Larry Dixon. He drifts sideways, but Kelly Brown, just as straight as he can be, headed towards that finish line and the finals of the U.S. Nationals.
Kelly Brown, for a guy who at this same spot yesterday had oil running all over the place, this is amazing.
It is amazing, but you can't let anything get you down until it's all over with, you know. One thing we can say for sure now, without a doubt, we're in the hunt.
Top Fuel final, Kelly Brown working diligently after destroying 2 engines here. They actually had to borrow an engine out of little John Lombardo's funny car to make the final few rounds of eliminations. They worked all night preparing it. It's now carried them here into the final. Johnny Abbott, as you heard him earlier with Steve saying, he's not had that many problems over the weekend, but he has got one big problem here, and that is the right-hand lane. It's a questionable lane. Nobody knows how good it is. Tom McEwen shocked everybody in the semifinals when he ran 6.21 seconds with very little or no tire shake, but it has been on again, off again. Who knows whether it's going to be good or bad. Kelly Brown, though, by virtue of the low elapsed time of the preceding round, has got the lane choice, and he picks the left-hand lane. Both cars very slowly approaching the starting line, letting the heat build in those nitro-burning engines, creating as much horsepower as they can get. Both cars into the pre-staging lights. In comes Kelly Brown. Now Johnny Abbott approaching the final staging beam. He is staged, the tree is green, and they both leave together. The wheels in the air for Kelly Brown. And pulling a lead as something going wrong for Johnny Abbott. Kelly Brown, the national champion. Another fine 5-second elapsed time, 5.88 seconds at over 245 miles an hour. You see both cars moving violently as they leave the starting line, but Kelly Brown inching ahead at the middle of the track and then streaking to victory at this U.S. Nationals.
Kelly Brown leaves the starting line, wheels in the air, en route to his first U.S. Nationals title. It's a dream come true, isn't it? Congratulations.
Dream come true, and it, I'll tell you, it's, as they said, it's the greatest drag race of all time, and I couldn't be happier with our team and everyone involved, from Valvoline to Goodyear to down to everybody, and it was just an excellent, excellent weekend for us with all the problems we had, and this is the greatest drag race in my entire life.
It's sometimes sweeter when you work that hard for him, huh? Bill Schultz horsepower did that.
Bill Schultz horsepower, as did most of our races this year, and a tremendous crew behind him from Gary Reed on down. Every one of those guys is absolutely the best, and I love them all, I'll tell you.
Well, congratulations to you. That's 4 national wins this year. Right?
4 this year, 4 last year, and we're sneaking up on Garless. He's got 23 years on us.
Kelly Brown, who could be the first man to ever repeat as Top Fuel World Champion. Well, it's over now, Dave, but the 25th silver anniversary of the U.S. Nationals was everything everyone expected it to be. The most monumental drag race in history. Tremendous performance, tremendous crowds, but the people behind me, the Over the Hill gang and Kelly Brown, typify the incredible work people are willing to do to win here. These people haven't been to bed all night. They blew up 3 engines qualifying. They had to make their own bearings. There's been no sleep among the entire group. They have blown up their 4th engine, but nobody's complaining. They won the big one. The Top Fuel World Championship battle ended here in the staging lanes yesterday in dramatic fashion when Kelly Brown simply ran out of time.
That's right, Steve. The last few weeks have not been good for Kelly Brown, the defending world champion. Kelly and the Over the Hill gang had to completely rebuild their car after an exploding clutch in the finals of the Fall Nationals severely damaged the dragster. In his previous qualifying attempts here at Ontario, Kelly fell short of the mark, and with time running out yesterday, the crew was hard at work trying to find the horsepower and traction combination that would qualify for the 16-car field. Kelly came into the World Finals just 506 points behind the leader, Rob Bruins, and he had to qualify to continue his quest to become the first person ever to repeat as world champion. This has been a great season for Kelly, winning the Gator Nationals, the Cajun Nationals, the Mile High Nationals, and the 25th Annual U.S. Nationals. But this was not his weekend, as Kelly and the car were both ready for a final attempt when time ran out and qualifying ended. A tough way to end the year for Kelly Brown, the 1978 world champion, who now passes the crown and title to Rob Bruins.
Dave, a very disappointed Kelly Brown, who has qualified for something like 19 consecutive NHRA national events, a record for any Top Fuel driver, has failed to make the field here at the World Finals. Robbie Bruins, a little bit of tears in his eyes. The dream of every kid that ever went down a drag strip to be the Top Fuel world champion. Robbie Bruins does it. Kelly Brown?
We'll be opening the gate fairly early.
Kelly, and you know how he feels right now. You did the same thing last year.
Well, I have to know. You know, I just climbed out of the car. It's a very, very disappointing feeling, not only for myself, but for all our guys who worked so hard. But we did well. We tried as hard as we could, and it's a fantastic sport. And my thanks go out to everyone that helped us all year long. And
Robbie, how do you feel right now?
Well, I'm really elated. I wish Gaines was here because it's been a team effort all the way, and this is a dream come true or another overnight success. We've only been doing it about 15, 20 years.